With the first pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama from Nanterre, France.
Victor Wembanyama sharing this moment with his family. Every phone in this arena is out capturing this historical moment because he is perhaps the greatest prospect to ever walk across this stage. He heads to San Antonio following in the footsteps of fellow Frenchman Tony Parker, who he idolized growing up, of Manu Ginobili, of fellow #1 picks Tim Duncan, David Robinson, all of whom won championships with the franchise under the tutelage of Greg Popovich, the winningest coach in league history. And at 7'4", an elite rim protector with outside range, he is where the league's past, Jay, meets its present, a dominant big man for the modern era.
Singularly unique, and I'm using unique correctly because there are no gradations of unique. You can't be very unique or the most unique.
Here, Jay.
2023 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Brandon Miller from the University of Alabama.
Brandon Miller, the SEC Player of the Year, the Newcomer of the Year. Mitch Kupchak, the general manager in Charlotte, he was in attendance for Miller's season-high 41 points against South Carolina. That was back in February. Ooh. But, Jay, I mean, his ability to shoot the ball at his size, that's just valued at a premium right now.
That's exactly what he is. He's an elite.
2023 NBA Draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Scoot Henderson from Marietta, Georgia, in the NBA G League's Team Ignite.
Scoot Henderson, big game, big personality, of course, from the G League Ignite, following in the footsteps of Jalen Green, Jonathan Kuminga, Dyson Daniels, all top 10 picks here with the championship. He had the game-winning layup as time expired to give his team a 2-0 series lead. And then in Game 3, that was the clincher, he had the game-winning assist to his twin brother Asar with 2.3 seconds left to win the title. Our Jonathan Givony has said he has the highest ceiling of anyone in the draft not named Victor Wembanyama.
And that's saying a lot because this is a really good draft full of talented players. But Amen Thompson is a long-armed, freaky athlete.
23 NBA Draft. The Detroit Pistons select Asar Thompson from Oakland, California, an overtime elite.
Twin brothers selected back-to-back here.
Orlando Magic select Anthony Black from the University of Arkansas.
Anthony Black led the SEC in minutes played, and he was the only Arkansas player to start every game this last season.
Select Bilal Coulibaly from Courbevoie, France.
Bilal Coulibaly, of course, the teammate of Victor Wembanyama on Mets 92. He first played with Wembanyama when they were 12 years old, but he really impressed at the draft combine, and he actually held
2023 NBA Draft. The Washington Wizards select Jarace Walker from the University of Houston.
Jarace Walker on the board for Washington, but of course we know is going to Indiana, as our Adrian Wojnarowski just reported. All of his stats, he's a winner. They all went up in the NCAA tournament. His coach, Jonathan Thompson, he told me just meant so much for him. He played for him all the time. But the story that stands out to me the most, Jay, about Jarace Walker is he started all but one game in high school. And the one game he didn't start, it was his senior. Let's go back to Commissioner Silver.
With the 9th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Taylor Hendricks from UCF.
Taylor Hendricks, the first ever player out of UCF to be drafted in the first round. And he's actually from Florida. He got offers from Miami, from Florida State. Ultimately, he blazed his own path, choosing UCF and becoming the first pick out of the program. And when the pick was called, JJ, you said, yes, I love this guy. Why is that?
Well, let's start with his defense. He's a multi-positional defender. He led the conference in blocks while simultaneously shooting over 30.
I have a trade to announce. As part of a deal to be finalized later, the Indiana Pacers are trading to the Washington Wizards the draft rights to Bilal Coulibaly, the 7th pick, and the Wizards are trading to the Pacers the draft rights to Jarris Walker, the 8th pick. And with the 10th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Cason Wallace from the University of Kentucky.
For 16 straight years, John Calipari has had a first-round pick now with Cason Wallace, the freshman guard out of Kentucky, on his way to Oklahoma City via the Dallas Mavericks. He says he wants to model his game after Jimmy Butler, and to that point, he was quoted saying this: "You can't teach dog. It just has to be in you." And if that doesn't say Jimmy Butler, JJ, I don't know.
23 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Jet Howard from the University of Michigan.
Tonight is a big night for both of his families, for both the Howard family and the Wolverines, because 19 years after his father, Juwan Howard, was drafted out of Michigan, Jet is following in his footsteps from Lansing to the league. He grew up playing on a Nerf hoop in David Fizdale's office in Miami. Certainly no stranger to the league. He has been around professionals and prepared for this his entire life, Andrea.
And Jet Howard is so much fun to watch.